Hello again, word lovers. I hope you are well, because today we're going to look at words for the opposite of well, words for sickness and disease. We'll begin with ease, which comes to us from Old French. Is. It is suggested that this comes from adiacens, lying at, lying, just lying in general. Yacere was the verb root to throw, from the Pi root ye, to throw. So possibly something that's just been thrown down is at ease, and a disease would be the opposite of that, obviously. The word ill leads us to an Old Norse dead end. We could trace it to iller, meaning evil, bad, hard, difficult, also stingy. But we don't know where that word comes from. We know that sick is an Old English word with many bad connotations. Proto-Germanic seoka, and we don't know where that comes from. If you're sick, you're unwell, of course. Un is negative, obviously. What about well? Well, this used to mean abundant. There was very, very much of something, and comes from vel, variants of which we find in Proto-Germanic, Old Norse, Old Frisian, Dutch, etc. And all going back to the satisfying Pi root well, meaning to wish, to will. That's where we get will from. Still in Old English we have sar, meaning painful, and that becomes our word sore. Germanic root again, saira, suffering, sickness, and the usual Frisian Middle Dutch root back to a Pi root. And again, a Pi root close to our modern meaning, sai, meaning suffering. So that's enough general suffering. Let's have a look at some specific diseases. Botulism comes from the word for sausage because it was originally contracted by eating bad sausages. In fact, the Latin word botulus, meaning a sausage, which is from Oscan Umbrian, became a botellus in Latin to describe the small intestine. And from there, boel, meaning intestines, and of course bowels, in Old French. The next word is one that's so terrible we often use an initial and call it the C word, cancer. Karkinos in Greek, from the Pi root karkro, which is a duplication of kar, meaning hard. So hard would be hard, hard, very hard. Karkro, cancer. I wonder if it refers to the animal, the hard shell. In many languages, the word cancer and crab are the same, as in Russian, for example. It is rak, as in the title of Solzhenitsyn's cancer ward, Rakovy Korpus in Russian. We may need a vaccine with all these diseases going on. Vaccine, vaca being a cow in Spanish, vache in modern French, vaca is the Latin. This is simply because it was the virus of the cowpox that was used to control smallpox. And while we're with poxes, a pock mark is a small indentation in the skin caused by a pustule. So the pock-marked face would be poxy. And this comes from pu, meaning to swell up, to blow up, as the boils, the blisters do, which is Germanic. And there was a previous BP mutation, as the Pi root is beo, which we've seen before, to swell or to blow. So as vaccine is connected with cows, we would expect salmonella to be connected with salmon. But it isn't, except in the sense that it was named by Daniel E. Salmon, or Salmon, who was an American vet who died in 1914. His name and the name of the animal was Salmo in Latin, and that's where we get it from. Possibly connected, it seems logical to me, to salire, meaning to leap, to jump. Malaria is Spanish, bad air, mal aire. Tuberculosis means like a tuber, though I should draw your attention to another word, phthisis, slightly more medical, but a fantastic word, meaning a body that shrivels with heat when you put it on a fire. Phthisis. I would say that's onomatopoeic. And we welcome Swahili to the table of interesting etymologies in unfortunate circumstances, as the word we take from Swahili in this installment is dinga, meaning a seizure or a cramp, becoming dengue. Ebola or Ebola is one of the many diseases named after the place of origin or supposed origin, as was the case with Spanish flu. And just one more disease before we go on our way, and that will be jaundice. Jaune, yellow. People speak of jaundiced people having a yellowish complexion, so it's the yellow disease. However, the medical term is icterus. This is a Greek word and was the name for a yellow bird, the icteria. So why is jaundice connected to that? Because it was believed that the cure for jaundice was to look at this yellow bird. Jaundice itself, if we follow the jaune route, goes back to Latin and Greek galbinus, meaning a greenish, yellowish, and also effeminate, similar to the Russians using light blue in that way, goluboy. I hope you enjoyed the etymologies, and I hope you never suffer any of those diseases.